and welcome to a new TUI Magic Life video. If you have been around here for a while, you know that I have been awarded to two different TUI Magic Life hotels, both in Turkey, one in Masmavi and the other one in Sarıkaya. They are my most viewed videos, so if you're interested in watching them, I will put them all in a playlist up in the cards and in the description down below. And then we will also find Playitas Resort in Fuerteventura as well. It has some difference to TUI Magic Life. They don't offer all-inclusive, but they offer like a ton of activities, mostly sports related, and if you're kind of like an athlete, or if you really love to working out during your vacation, this might be also one that you should check out. So I will have them all in the playlist. Enjoy that. And now we're going to talk about TUI Magic Life Plimmiri. To TUI Magic Life a few weeks ago in August. We are here from the Norwegian TUI, so there were not so many we could choose from. It was actually the cheapest one, so we decided going there. And today I will just show you around in the hotel and give you the most important details that you should know about TUI Magic Life Plimmiri. And then the next 2 weeks you will see some travel vlogs from there. So TUI Magic Life Plimmiri is located on the island Rhodes in Greece. From the airport it's around 80 kilometers, so transfer times, 100 to 120 minutes, so it is quite a distance, and you will be picked up from your hotel around 4 hours before your departure flight. So that can be very early, especially if you have a very early flight. Keep that in mind. In our case, we had a very late flight, which meant we wanted to check out late, but it was quite expensive. So I would recommend, if you have late flights and you know you will get picked up late, book the late checkout right away. Because it will be way cheaper than if you try to book it at the hotel directly. They told us that they have different prices depending on when you're gonna book it. And I could see there were different prices on the website. There was a different price in the app. And then when we were asking in the hotel, it was, I think it was over 150 euros. So it wasn't worth it. So we decided not to do it. They have a good arrangement if you have to leave your room at 11. But then have to stay on site until you get picked up. They have a big luggage room downstairs from the reception. They have rooms to change, to take a shower, with outlets for charging your phone, lockers. So I think they're really good prepared if you have to stay there for a longer period. And I think for us, it worked really well. So that's just something to keep in mind. The hotel itself is an all-inclusive 5 stars resort. And it is approximately 200,000 square meters. It is probably the biggest TUI Magic Life from the area, but it's not like the biggest from rooms. I think some of them in Turkey, like Cikaranda, probably have way more rooms. They have 415 rooms, and they are kind of like spread out, like kind of like villages, and it definitely makes you feel like you're not living in a big hotel complex like in other hotels. So I really enjoyed that. Upon arrival, you have to pay 10 euros per room per night as like tourist tax. So keep that in mind when you're booking your hotel, especially if you're like more on a budget side. Yeah, you should remember that. You can rent cars to see more of the island, but you also can take the bus. I think it was like around 3 euros. It was quite cheap, and you could take the bus to Lindos or to Rhodes town. We didn't do that, but other guests told me that it was a good idea, and it takes like 45 minutes to go to Lindos. So I think that's a great activity for one day if you're staying there for like a week or longer. We were really lucky. We got an upgrade. We were actually located on a like very basic room, but we got the room with a shared pool. There are 8 rooms that sharing one pool, and it's right next to the entrance of the hotel. So it's definitely in a more quieter area, but it's not far to the restaurant or to the pool bar and all of that. I would say if you go to the beach, it is quite a distance. So keep that in mind when you're booking your hotel room. But it was so lovely to have this pool by ourselves. There are also rooms with swim out pools. They are located more closer to the beach. I read some reviews where people were like, they were not so happy because I would say the view is, I would say we had a much better view. But yeah, if you wanted to be located more next to the beach, that makes more sense to get that one. I think our shared pool was lovely, and I'm really grateful for that. The hotel has 4 restaurants. The main restaurant is in all Magic Lives, and then they had the trattoria, the flavor, and the taverna. We thought about going, we looked at the menu and decided that we want to rather go to the main restaurant, so we did that. They have an adult area in the restaurant, in the main restaurant, which is really nice. We stayed there most of the time. In the evening there might be a line if you want to sit outside, but inside you usually always get a spot right away. Food was really good, a lot of variety. There's always like the staples, but also really like that they had quite a bigger corner for vegan food or gluten-free food. They had tons of salads. They were really good, and I have to say I was really happy with the food that they offered. In addition, they have several places where you can get food as well, like the Wunderbar, which is kind of very close to the reception. You can get food 24 hours, which was nice because we arrived there at 2 o'clock in the morning, so we could go into and get a sandwich if we wanted to. I remember Christine got a drink there. And then they also have the pool bar and the beach bar, and they also, in between these two, there's the coffee house. I tried a milkshake, which I didn't like, but we didn't try so much of them. We usually just got water, so yeah, we're probably not the best to review the drinks that they have. Then the pools were located in different areas of the whole resort. Obviously we had the shared pool that is just for us who have like rooms there. Then you have the big activity pool and the 25-meter sports pool, with next to that there's the children's pool. That's where all the entertainment happens. It is quite busy, quite loud. I think if we hadn't had access to the shared pool, we would have gone lower next to the beach to the family relax pool. It seemed like it was way quieter. There was no music, obviously no activities. They have the family pool there and a children's pool. So if you're a person who loves like a lot of happening and music, it's better to be upstairs at the activity pool, especially because the water slides park is right next to it. But if you're more craving like a bit more calm and quiet time, you better go next to the beach where the family relax pool is. And then obviously if you're a beach person, you better go to the beach. It is a sand and pebble beach. They recommend bathing shoes. I would say if you manage to get over the pebbles into the water, it's totally fine. Like as soon as you reach the water, there is quite a lot of sand. But it can hurt a bit. I think it went well with walking just with flip-flops until there, and then going into. So I would say if you forget your bathing shoes, it's no problem. We were there in end of August. The water was really warm and also quite chill. I could see that a lot of children were playing there, and I think it's a nice area. I mean, the distance can be from probably 100 meters to 800 meters, depending on where you're located. I think it took me almost 10 minutes to get to the beach. And I mean, if it's getting really hot and you have a pool right next to your hotel room, you know what you're gonna choose. So keep that in mind. Also, if you request a room, definitely check out the map and look at where it would be best for you to be located, depending on what you want to do most. Sunbeds and umbrellas are obviously included because it's an all-inclusive hotel. We were definitely the only ones there at the beach. I don't think there are any hotels right there. It's really built in the middle of nowhere. And towels you can pick up at the beach bar. When it comes to activities, they have them all. Like, you can do obviously the normal things that you often can do in like these kind of type of hotels, like football and volleyball and tennis. They have tennis classes for beginners and advanced, and also tournaments and classes for kids. But there's so much more. They have an activity area where they have a gym, but also you can do your indoor cycling, which is still outside but in shade. And the aerobics area where I did a lot of things, where you can have HIIT and body workout, Zumba, yoga, stretching, step aerobics, power aerobics, and one thing that I really enjoyed, that was trampoline. That was so fun. Behind that area is the archery area. They always have beginners and advanced classes. You kind of have to do the beginners class once, and then you can do the advanced course, and with that you also can participate in tournaments if you want to. It is a lot of fun. It's so fun to try it out. Definitely recommend that. Right before the activity area, there are the mountain bikes. They are for free if you join the mountain bike tours. If you're going on your own, you can rent a bike at the reception, and they have like renting bikes right next to it. You can see the bikes. One highlight that Plimmiri has and many other places not is aqua cycling. They have that in activity pool usually. Around twice a day. I didn't try it, but I did do the aqua fitness class, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, I always love aqua fitness. But there are also other activities like water polo, or especially in the afternoon, you can do shuffleboard or boccia or darts, all these kind of fun, probably also a lot of family activities that you can do. And then they also have a petting zoo that is open, I think, from 11 to 1 p.m. for every day, probably. Not really sure, just check it with the reception. They have horses, donkeys, dogs, I think goose and rabbits. I think that's the ones I could see from the distance. And I have to say, my friend Christine, she went running several times during our stay in the morning, and I just went for a walk, and that was lovely as well. Because the area is so big, you definitely have they have several roads where you can jog. So that's something you could also do. I mean, there's so much to do. You probably will find something that you will like. If you're more the person who wants to have it more quiet and relaxed, you can try the spa. That's where you also get towels if you're at the activity pool area. Or for us, for the shared pool, it makes sense to go to spa, which is the closest. They have different treatments there, and also an indoor pool, which I said it's mostly used obviously if there's not that good weather. I didn't see anyone in there. I mean, it was really hot in it. So they have quite different treatments. I would say I wasn't too impressed. They definitely try to sell you the most expensive treatments where you get like 15 minutes like extra for free. They definitely don't look at what you actually need. So I checked the prices. Even here in Norway, I would get the same massage often cheaper than there, so that's also something to keep in mind. I was definitely disappointed. I wouldn't recommend it. There were several things happening there that didn't make me recommend it, and you can see it in the travel vlogs. Last thing we can talk about is entertainment. They have several evening shows. The dancers and also singers are obviously also our fitness instructors and entertainers. I think they did a great job. I saw 2 night shows and I joined the silent disco, which was a lot of fun. Compared to like the Turkish Magic Lives, you definitely see they have less of a budget. They're like bigger shows there. But I still think it was really lovely. I had a really nice team. They all were really friendly and motivating. I really enjoyed the fitness classes. So the whole atmosphere in the hotel was lovely. I really enjoyed it. I loved that it was that big and still didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like it was super crowded in the restaurants. I probably would come back, but with better flight times. We flew at 5 p.m. on Saturday and arrived at the hotel at 2 a.m. in the morning. Thank God we got the upgrade. That was really lovely. And then we flew back at 1 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday, and yeah, that was definitely not so fun. So I wouldn't do that again, but the hotel was really nice. Compared to Masmavi and Sarigeme, I would say I love Sarigeme more. It's still absolutely my favorite, but it might be a good idea to just watch the other videos to get a little bit more an impression how they're made. And obviously Sarigeme is very small and compact. And Masmavi is way bigger, but also more like in a kind of a village style plus one bigger complex. But they have a more area where you can go to this pool or this pool because there's so many. So that was my little tour here around TUI Magic Life Plimmiri. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next 2 ones that will be travel vlogs from that area. Have a wonderful Sunday. I see you next week. Bye bye.